What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. This is another episode of Beyond the Click and Cliff. This is where I give you a story about my experiences, my life journey, and not so much Lego, but except for today. There's going to be a little bit of Lego in today's podcast, and it's part of this story, and I would like to share that with everybody. And most, if you're a Lego fan or not, if if you're in part of my Lego community or just listen to this as a podcast, whatever it may be. But this is part of the story, and I've gone over this in a past video on my old podcast, just a sit down. But I've grown a little bit since then, and I figured I might as well tell the story again, so everybody that's on my channel understands or knows what happened to me, and maybe I can show some inspiration to somebody else. This ain't a sob story. I'm not looking to get a bunch of sorries. I'm just telling you a story. I'll take you back to when I was a child. I've always had stomach problems growing up. I've always had stomach hurting all the time. I'd sit countless of hours in the bathroom, sitting on the toilet, trying to push something out because my stomach was hurting. And in my head, the only way to get feeling better is to go to use the restroom. And needless to say, that wasn't the case. I then went to junior school. That problem kind of went away until I reached the junior high. And I found out I had a spastic colon. Anybody knows what that means? It's your colon, and it just sits there and seizes every now and then. Gives you a pain for a minute, then it's over. So I got through that. Everything was okay. I went on with my life. I started my career as a firefighter. I've done that since 2000. And then when it turned to 2018, or actually 19, I had some issues going on. And I started with a little pain in my stomach. All right, me and my wife, we just got done eating dinner. And the next day, I just felt awful. Bad pain in my stomach, and I didn't think anything of it. I did call into work because I was just not feeling going to work that day. So I called in, sat there, and it was not easing up. Into the night, I was in pain. It wasn't, and I told my wife, I said, "This ain't normal. This ain't a normal stomach pain because I've lived through it. I knew what gas pains were. I go, this is a totally different type of pain." So we went to the ER, and I told the doctor the situation, and he went done a CAT scan, and he said I had diverticulitis, and to stay away from corn, nuts, anything that's hard to digest. And everybody knows, stuff that's hard to digest. So, okay. So I changed my diet around. And I'd still sneak in a little bit of stuff because I like it. And I shouldn't have, but I did. And that was like a year. Then went to a few months later down the road. It hit it again. I go, man, I knew I should, I told myself, this diverticulitis, I can handle a day of this. Well, this day turned into 2 days. I ended up having to be in the hospital for a week. And, it was not fun. They did nothing, it finally took care of itself. And then diverticulitis is like, in your intestines, there's little pits in your intestines. You eat corn or nuts, a lot of it will get lodged in that little crevices in your intestines, and they'll sit there and get and turn bad, and that's what diverticulitis is. A lot of times, who don't suffer it's smooth, but in our case that has diverticulitis is there's little pits in your intestines and little food particles get stuck in there and get irritated and stuff like that. And so that's what, you know, my fault. Well, I was got that week out of the hospital, came back in to go to work, got out of there, went back to work, and started working, and I felt something explode, like inside my gut. I went back on, the no eating that bad stuff. I wasn't eating none of that bad stuff. I was just eating my normal food that didn't have the corn or anything that was bad for me at that time. But I felt something like explode in intense pain. I was at work, and I'm happy the guys that was around me because they had rushed me to the hospital, and I had to have emergency surgery. Well, I didn't have emergency surgery then. That's what I was being told. Doctors come in and said, well, what we're going to do is you got an infection going on. I'm like, well, that was an explosion. And he said, you got an infection going on. You got a little tear in your intestines, but we believe it'll heal on its own with antibiotics and medicine. And so I stayed in the hospital for a week then and came home, and I was just hurting. And they had put drain tubes in my belly to draw out the infection. And so I was carrying around this IV thing coming out of my belly with a bag, and I had to go empty it throughout the day. It was just infection. And I was unable to move around very much. And I wasn't this big. I didn't really eat much. Yogurt, pretty much all I really wanted. Yogurt, and I think I did strive on some Cheez-Its. Cheez-Its and yogurt, good diet. But one day, I was feeling cold and clammy. I just feeling weird. I jumped in the shower thinking, well, I'll jump in the shower, maybe I get done with the shower, I'd feel better, and I didn't. Matter of fact, my boss came by, and I guess the guys, took a collection for me, and all that. It was awesome. He brought that over, and I was just sitting there sweating. I was cold and sweaty. I was like, man, I'm not feeling too good. I better need to go to the hospital. So I went to the hospital. Doctor came in. I told him what was going on. Told him what been going on. I just thought it was that mess again. I was just. He looked at me. He took me to the X-ray in a high-paced manner. Well, my body threw a clot, and I ended up having a pulmonary embolism. That's where it kills a lot of people. It's where blood clot goes through your heart or in your lungs, and it actually could kill. Doctor, how he put it to me was, we got 50-50 chance. We got to get you airflown to the hospital. So I went to a little town hospital, and they put Band-Aids on you, but they had to airlift me to a bigger hospital in Jonesboro. And the doctor looked at me and goes, it's 50-50 chance with you right now. We got to get you to a better hospital who can tend to this, and we'll keep it in the Lord's hands. And that scared me. I'm like, oh my goodness. I thought I'd die in a car wreck. I would die of old age. I would die in a fire. Not like this. Well, I was scared. I went to the hospital. Got flown. First time I ever flown was in the helicopter, and I didn't enjoy it at all. Got to the bigger hospital, lay down, sit down. They took me in to put some kind of clot fighting agent in my body. I lay down flat for 12 hours, couldn't move. And then after that, I was supposed to have surgery on my stomach. They're supposed to go there and microscopically fix my diverticulitis spot, right? So I was still wearing the drains from the infection. So I was already sick. And doctor kind of told me, because I think your body blew a clot because it's experiencing all this at one time and your body just threw a clot. So anyway, I lived through that. We got through that, and so I had to wait 6 months for the surgery. After you have a blood clot like that, your body, they're not going to do surgery on you the next day. It's got 6 months before they can do surgery. So I sat there for 6 months with an infection, drying with these bags on for 6 months in my house. Still had problems. Had to run back to the hospital and back because I was in and out of the hospital for a whole year, just with the infection part of it. Finally, it's time for the surgery. We got through the pulmonary embolism. I'm like, I told my wife, well, I mean, there ain't nothing else we could go wrong. Boy, was I wrong. Went in, done the surgery. They put they figured, well, we'll put this little screen in your blood vessel up here, so if you throw a clot, the clot will catch in there and not go through my heart and my lungs. Of course, they had to take me off my blood thinner because I'm on it the rest of my life. When your body flows a clot, it will do it again unless you take, your chances are real slimmer when they give you a blood thinner. So I had to start taking blood thinners. I had to be off of that. So they put this little screen in somewhere in my body where if it throws a clot, it'll catch in there before it goes in my lungs or heart. If it gets clogged up, they just have to go in there and clean it out, I guess. I don't know. But I did that. I went and had my surgery. They go, well, we can do it microscopically. Great. Less recovery time. I can get better and go back to work in my head. Well, I woke up from the surgery and the physical therapist was there. Oh, this is when I got mad. I woke up from that. Physical therapist was there. She goes, let's go for a walk. I said, all right, let's go. Still not feeling too good. I was just laying in bed. I was still not feeling good at all. I woke, so I got out of bed, stood up, and I felt something like gravity, just something from where they had my surgery just fall down in my belly. I just felt weird. It felt like something just like, whew. I told Fesca, I go, something's wrong here. Something just fell in my stomach. Well, you've just been laying on your back. You'd be fine. I'm like, no. And they wouldn't let me be. I was hurt. Instant pain, just boom. And I was mad. I mad walked. I walked all around that hospital. Said, I'm hurting, but let's go do this. So I guess they deal with that kind of patient every day, right? But anyway, I got back to the hospital, back to my room. I laid down, and finally, the doctor come in about 6 days later. And he goes, man, you're not acting right. You should be getting better, not worse. I said, well, and I finally told him, I said, the physical therapist did not come and tell you that I felt something drop? And he goes, what? He ran me down to CT and took a CAT scan, and then I was in emergency surgery. What happened was when I went in there microscopically, the stitches or however they got it fixed didn't hold and went down, and I started getting septic. My waste was going in my belly, and I was starting to get septic. And I got septic, and then I got pneumonia at the same time. And they rushed me to surgery. They opened me up, cleaned me out. I ended up getting a colostomy bag. And I was on life support for 3 weeks. Didn't know I was. I woke up and I had this tube going down my throat. Horrible. And when I I tried to get up and escape. I got out of the bed and I ran. Tried to walk. I couldn't walk. I had to learn how to walk again. So I finally got out of got better from the surgery. Went into a nursing home for recovery. I had to learn how to walk again. I did that. And then I got to go home. I have my mobile. You hear me on my videos, you think I'm out of breath. Well, that's my normal breathing. Because all that tore up my lungs, and I was smoking. Fire wasn't helping either. Quit smoking though, but we learned how to walk again and got home and done this daily struggle there. Got depressed because then the doctor said I probably won't be going back to my profession again. Got depressed. All I did was sit here and watch TV. All I did all day. Watch TV and eat. And I got bigger and bigger, fatter. Till it got out of control. And I'm trying to get it off, but man, it's the hardest thing in the world. I think quitting smoking is a lot easier. Because I got other things fighting against me. It's not only my weight, as long as I can only walk maybe a couple, around a couple times, maybe 10 feet. I got to sit down because I'm winded because I got to catch my breath. And I'm on a respirator at night to sleep because my lungs are all messed up right now because of it. Of my choices: smoking, fighting fire without a SCBA mask, eating smoke, and then the pulmonary embolism in my weight. All these factors. Just sitting there getting depressed, like, oh my gosh. I watch Lego Masters, and I just looked over, and there's where the Lego comes in. Maybe I won't. Man, this guy's. I sat there, flipped on, I saw Lego Masters. What the heck is this? When I was watching, I watched everything else. Clicked on it, watched it, and my wife came in from work, and I go, I used to play with these when I was a kid. She goes, what, Lego? Well, Legos. We didn't know any better back then. And I said, yeah, well, I had fun with it. So she knew I was depressed, and I was trying to find a hobby that I could do, keep my mind busy, because my mind was just, I was depressed, going different ways. So maybe I could do something with my hands. I tried making jewelry with beads. That only lasted about a couple weeks. Now I don't want to do that. And I go, maybe model cars. So I went in and got me a model car. And, my wife went to the dollar store the next day and gave me a Lego set. Captain America, put together, instant loving, and that's where my hobby took off. It got me off depression. Off the medicine with doctor's approval. I was fine. I'm still fine. I still have days. But, so Lego put me out of depression. I was doing something with my hands. Felt like I was accomplishing something, and it turned into what it is today, a mess. But I still have problems, and I'm still going to have problems the rest of my life. There's no error in that, and I got through that. I got through all that. And this is 2021 by the time I back to normalcy. Of course, COVID hit at the same time, so whatever. But I made it through, and that's my story. That is what got me where I am today from that era. And that's what's, when you hear me that, what, does Cliff not have a job? Well, I did have a job, man. I don't anymore. And this is why I do YouTube and Lego. Keep my mind busy. It gives me something to do. But guys, I think that's going to be it. I mean, that's what happened. That's what my story is. I got through it, and all that, I got through it. So, guys, remember, if you like this, please hit the like button. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about today's podcast. Maybe consider subscribing if you like this kind of stuff. And remember, pay it forward. Be kind to one another. Be nice. Do something nice for somebody. Guys, yeah, this will be it for today. I will talk to you guys later. Bye bye.